to do whatever we can do for our colleagues, our friends who are incarcerated in Iranian jails.
Thank you for your help, and I'm here to just say it's really appreciated by all my colleagues. Maziar is a good example. He was in jail for almost 4 months. And as he mentioned before to Nika and Kosa, our experience is like a joke in front of him. I was in jail for just 1 month, and it was nothing, although I was pregnant in that time. But to be honest, the only reason that Maziar was the lucky person that he could leave the country was because of international support. And now a lot of my colleagues in Iran, they are not in jail, but they are in a massive jail because they left bail, and it's nothing to do with bail. They don't have their passport on their hand, and they confiscated the passport. And now we've got a lot of people here. They are waiting for their love, their husband, and they are in Iran. They just stop them leaving Iran. So this is sort of new prison, a new way to put people in prison. They are walking in the street. They are journalists, but they don't have newspaper. They lost their job. They lost their newspaper. They lost their safety. But of course, they are not the loser because they're still having hope and fighting for freedom. So I'm not a speaker. I'm not a speaker. I can, if you've got any question about our colleagues or current situation of some of my colleagues in a small city, which they've been arrested, but their name is not confirmed in, this list. Maybe you've got the list. So I would be happy to answer some sort of question.
Yeah, I just have to add that I have to repeat myself, maybe that it's not enough to have a defeatist attitude and say that, I mean, what's the point of signing something or clicking on a Facebook page or something? The government of Iran, like any other government, wants to be a legitimate government. When Ahmadinejad goes to New York or other capitals, he doesn't like to be the subject of hatred, and he doesn't like eggs to be thrown at him. But we can make their lives miserable. We can make them pay for what they're doing. And we can do that through very, very simple things, by signing a petition, by going to a Facebook page, and by getting our voices heard.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to add something. It is really enjoyable that while we have been ignored by the authorities in Iran, we are being heard outside of Iran. And I mean, for Ahmadinejad, it's so easy just look in your eyes and deny our death or deny. When a colleague of mine asked Ahmadinejad, are you supporting your Minister of Culture's action when they are arresting journalists and they are closing down newspaper and filtering website? Are you supporting these things? And he said, we've got law and everything should be according, should be, come on, help me. According to law. Even he was not listening to me. So, I mean, Ahmadinejad said that we don't have any journalists in jail. And those are the people who were in the street, and they were against the rule and the law, and this is the reason that they are in jail, which is not true. And the only crime of all my colleagues was just writing and supporting Green Movement, and just supporting people who have been killed, and they had no voice, and those journalists were their voice, and now they are silent. But one thing should be noted. Now, when I see some of my friends, I mean Western friends here, they think because there's nothing going on in Iran right now in the street, so Green Movement is silent and everything is over, is finished. It is not true. And now the main reason that everything is quiet and nothing happening right now in the street is people get, I mean, these people are getting mature enough, and the young people in the street, they decided to, instead of just coming into the street and chanting and shouting and being killed in the street, they are decided to become a journalist. Because we don't have any newspapers, any journalists, and any official TV or radio for green movement, now a lot of people, young generation, they are going to prepare a campaign, or they are organizing themselves to go to small cities and talk with people face to face, which we really need it. So this is really sad that people think because there is no newspaper or nothing in the street, so green movement is finished and there is something to do just with middle class in Iran, and now it's over, it's finished. هر چیزی که باید اتفاق میافتاد به نظر من اتفاق افتاده. شما فارسی صحبت می‌کنید.
Whatever that could happen, happened.
من متوجه واقعا نمیشم منتظر چه اتفاقی هستیم، منتظر چه آینده‌ای هستیم.
I don't know what we are waiting for, what event we are waiting for now.
آیا واقعا آینده درخشان‌تر از این می‌خواستیم که الان تمام تاریخ‌ها، مناسبت‌های تاریخی کشور داره به علیه خودش استفاده میشه؟
Did you expect a brighter future than what we are witnessing right now in Iran?
یعنی اینکه برای اولین باری که تمام مناسبت‌های تاریخی مثل 22 بهمن، مثل روز قدس، مثل همه مناسبت‌هایی که الان داره میاد، بر علیه خود حاکمیت داره استفاده میشه.
Whatever the government kept sacred is becoming counterproductive. It's the opposite of the government.
And that's it. I mean, that was the distance, because before no one dared to talk a single word in Iran, and now you can easily see ordinary people. They are taking part and talking loud without any fear of those government. Although their hand is empty, and they are coming out with empty hand. Although these authorities have got lots of things in their hand, full of gun and violent things. So, in my opinion, we are not in a hurry. And everything that we are expecting, it's happened, it's already happened. And I don't know, maybe Maziar are expecting something more.
No, I don't expect anything more, but I am very pessimistic in the short run, and I think that we will go through a very, very difficult time for the next few years and the foreseeable future. But I'm optimistic about the future of Iran in the long term, and I think that the future of Iran is bright. Think of Iran as a black and white or Iranian film with subtitles that you have to immerse yourself in. Get bored sometimes, and it's always, so the green movement is really a process. It's not action. We have to. It takes time. But as Masih said, the good thing is that the government has already started to shoot itself in the foot, and they are basically undermining their own authority. As I said, the government wants to be a legitimate government. The government wants to pretend that it's a legitimate, popular, religious government, which it's not. It's not religious, it's not popular or legitimate. So I think there was a time that this Western help could be a hindrance, and it could people, human rights activists, journalists could be accused of espionage for working for the West by the government because of receiving support from the West. But now, because the government has basically accused everyone of receiving help from the West, has lost that argument, and I think it's very important for Western countries, people living in democracies, the Iranian diaspora, acting against the brutalities that's happening in Iran. But also we have to be realistic. We have to know our limits.
Maziar is a good example. He has been the only journalist that has been supported by Western government, and he could flee the country. But all of those journalists, which they didn't have any chance to be supported by Western government, they couldn't leave the country, and they are in jail right now.